So how many of you have ever been afraid that you were going to fail? Yeah. And how many of you have ever failed? Right. How many of us have ever felt like we wanted to quit? It's like we're tired and we don't want to do it. Well, me too. Me too. Not long ago, I was bankrupt. I lost my businesses. I got divorced. I had a 2.5-year-old son, so I became a single mom. And all I had to my name was this car with one headlight that didn't work and a door that didn't open, so I had to crawl inside this window to get into the car. And I was just unbelievably shocked that I was in this position. Have you ever been that way? You're like, why is this happening to me? I was teaching workshops. Yes, prosperity, law of attraction, yes. Essence of being, I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been in transformational work for 36 years. Why does this keep happening, or why was this happening at that moment? Okay, so not so many years later, so now I have millions in assets. I travel all around the world. I've taught thousands of people, children, teenagers, adults, corporate. I've been married to this man for 20 years now. I got a new guy. 20 years, right? So I was no longer a single mom. So people come to me all the time and they say, well, Burge, how did you go from where you were, basically homeless, I had nothing, to where you are now? And I say, well, how did I go from scarcity to abundance? How did I go from self-doubt to self-love? Have you ever thought that that could even be possible? Yes or no? Yes. So one of the reasons that I did is I'm going to share a couple of reasons and why what I did for this is I gave my way to prosperity. So I was feeling really low. My vibration was feeling like, I don't have any money. I can't do stuff. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And I don't know how to do this. And so what I ended up doing was every time I could, if I had $1, I would give that to somebody. So here you go. You know how that made me feel? Pretty good. I felt, okay, I feel abundant. I gave that person something that they didn't have. So I gave my way. It's like priming the pump. You ever seen that? Where you pump a handle, you prime it? So I would just keep giving and keep giving. And what I realized was that giving and receiving was the same energy. That I felt more abundant every time my vibration was, oh my God, I'm giving this away. I'm giving, and it feels good. So every time I gave something, I gave love, I gave time, I gave money, and I would get that back. And I thought, oh, this is cool. The more I give, the more I receive. And the more I receive, the more I give. So how many of you are givers? You give, yeah? So there has to be receivers in order for you to give, right? So why not be a receiver too? So this is what I did. So here's what we've learned long ago, that it's socially acceptable, isn't it, to say, oh, this whole thing, no, I don't need your help. It's okay. I don't want that. It's socially acceptable, yes? Yeah. It's spiritually inappropriate in my world. Because in order for you to receive, you have to give. And in order for you to give, you have to receive. And so there's this energy exchange that happens. So that the giving and receiving, if you block it anywhere, it blocks energy, okay? So just give. What it did is it just raised my vibration up. And I was like, yes, I'm abundant. And I just gave and gave and gave and gave and received and received and received. So turn to your partner. Just turn and look at each other. Turn to your partner, look at each other. Now, one of you, give your partner a compliment. Just go ahead and give him a compliment.
I absolutely.
Now say thank you. Now turn to the other one. Give the other person a compliment and say thank you. That's great, right? That is how you start reframing, okay? So just notice, was that familiar? Was that easy? So you're going to remember this, okay? You're going to remember this. The next time somebody gives you a compliment, say, thank you. Even if you don't believe them. Even if you think, what do they want? There must be some string attached to this, okay? So when you give, you can receive, and when you receive, you give. You're going to remember this. The other thing that happened is I had to trust and allow, and don't ask how. So I had to trust and allow that I was on my path, that I was adding value in the world, and I didn't give up on myself. Have you ever felt like giving up? Yes. I still do it today. Like right now, I want to give up. But I'm not, because I have a purpose. You know what my purpose is? What? To share what I'm doing here with thousands of people and millions of people around the world, to create a better place for all of us to live. You know, no big purpose, okay? So here's the thing. If you trust and allow, things will come to you. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't. And have you ever seen those cartoon characters with a bubble over their head? Yes. Yeah. So that's what I call our bubble talk. Our bubble talk is that subconscious thought that keeps us from getting what we want. Have you ever done affirmations? Little lies you tell yourself until they become true. Okay? There's your conscious thoughts. You say, but I want it. I want a man. I want a woman. I want to be happy. I want a new job. I want more money. I want to be able to make a difference in the world. So those are your conscious thoughts. But if your subconscious thoughts are not aligned, then it could be blocking you. So your bubble talk is really important to find out. That's your subconscious thought. That's running the bus. My subconscious thought that I had was I'm unworthy, that I'm not good enough. I was raised by an alcoholic father. I had a lot of trouble in my life. And I thought, here I go again by losing everything. I said, you know what? I'm going to shift my bubble talk because I am worthy. I am good enough. And I surrounded myself with people that believed me and reminded me of that because I would forget. And so the thing I want to shift for you today is this, that as long as you are making a difference, as long as you love yourself, you're important, that your bubble talk will shift, that you don't have to keep doing the same things over and over and over again and not having it come to you, that the most powerful force we have is what we say to ourselves and believe. If we believe it, it happens. And I realized why all that happened to me was I'm a walking testimony. That had to happen to me. So I could stand up here today and say, this shit works.